think the last time I was here solo, the guys will be jumping on. Family life happens, pops up, work, all that good stuff. I think the last time I was on here solo was when we got the email. And we got the email back in October. So what's happening? What the fuck is going on? So it's gonna be we're gonna have a fun little intimate evening with your boy, Big Daddy J-Ro now after the birth, and with the way things have been going lately, kind of just figured let's have a little fun here. Jump on. There's still a lot to talk about, and maybe we'll get a little music going while we're playing. But yeah, big weekend. With the Pith. We got the Beast coming up in New Hampshire this weekend, and wanted to just jump on and talk about it. Until the guys jump on. If they get on, great. If not, I'll go back to my daughter, 3 weeks old today. Cheers to my baby girl. But didn't get up to the Pith, obviously. Disappointed, but at the same point was okay with it. Coco got to experience it the first time, and love our guy Evan Hardy, Heaven, with Softball Uncensored, taking a page out of Coco's book, doing a little MFK on Softball Uncensored on Friday, I believe it was. So just had to get rid of my jury notice. Delayed that for a little bit. Oh, thank fucking Christ. Thank God.
Sorry.
I don't care. I wasn't ready to talk for this long about how in tuned I've been with softball for the last month and how much I give a fuck about it right now. So I'm just kind of like, I was probably going to talk about the diapers I've been changing lately.
It's a lot.
It's still not bad. Like,
No.
it's still the newborn poops, right? So it's not the bad smells. This girl, she farts like me. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a first run in. Amanda was like, I'm just stressed. Like, she hasn't been awake all day. She's awake now. I tried cooking a baked ziti that my sister-in-law made for me when we had the baby. It took an hour and a half to cook it. It was wild. So, yeah. So, no. And the nice thing is Amanda, I think she's creeping up in the diaper changing production. She does all the overnights. I still do probably about 65% of them. So
You guys didn't buy the diaper, Gene, did you?
fuck no.
Oh, good. It's the biggest waste of money in the entire world.
We got something else that's been
A
working
garbage,
great.
a garbage can.
So it's a garbage can with like a little slot. It's got a bunch of bags in it. It's been perfect. It's in our bedroom right now.
Yeah.
Listen, shit smells.
Yeah.
Like, I want something with a lid that's gonna trap it in a little, but the diaper genie, fuck that.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, fuck it. I'm not going all out. Here we are. Snides, what's up, buddy? How are things down in Florida?
It's all right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hot, and you're wearing a fucking long sleeve hoodie.
Oh, I got the air on.
Yeah, of course. I threw it on before because otherwise this turns into a fucking fat man sweat box by the end of an episode. What are you sipping on over there?
I have a Baja Blast. It's been one of those,
Play Minecraft after this or what?
I don't play video games, man. Nope. I'm hopefully gonna go to bed after this.
Beautiful. Well, you can keep. I can really help with that to make sure we get it going pretty quick. Heaven with 2 blowouts. That sounds fucking. I can't wait for those days. Jesus Christ.
We had a Thank God we had a blowout in like the Walmart parking lot with Zoe one time, and thank God we were there. We literally just brought her in the bathroom, threw her clothes away, put her in a diaper, and bought new clothes.
That's the best way to do it. I learned quickly about leaving the house without a bottle and how that is not an ideal situation to go for.
Oh yeah. I had my dad bag every time I left with the kids.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. Yeah, we've got 2. Amanda's got like a tiny little clutch, which is nice, fits in one of her bags, and then we got the unisex. We went with a unisex diaper bag, and I fuck with that thing. Chad,
had
what's happening? Good to see you. Fish Head. Look like Fish Head's having themselves a good little season as I look at my Fish Head hat. I wear it all the time, Chad. Thank you. I got a couple of beers. And
they're
we're going to
coming to
knock
the
this out.
Cracker, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be up here at the Firecracker. Which I won't be down there. I'm not going down. I mean, well, TBD. We'll see what things are looking like at that point.
Yeah, you got 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like leaving, to be honest with you. I don't like leaving. Actually, I think my sister, is that the
18th,
that's the
19th?
20th?
Something like that. Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah, I think my sister may be up here that weekend. Or maybe she's coming the next weekend. So no, she's coming the next weekend, which is pretty cool. So my sister's coming up with her husband and my niece and nephew, and they're all going to be here for my birthday. So I'm going to have my niece, my nephew, my daughter, everybody together on my birthday, and I'm just happier than a pig in shit. So let's jump into the Pith. First off, different year for me, right? But I was talking about going up a Saturday and doing Saturday, staying overnight, finishing up on Sunday. I am so fucking glad I didn't go.
I'm pissed you didn't go because their fucking live stream on the main field is dog shit.
Dude. Last year they did a really good job where they had they had a phone behind.
This year they were doing both fields. So I think they were using a camera up in the booth that could rotate to both fields. The women's field was mint.
Really?
That view was perfect. The men's trash. You might as well not even have filmed it.
Oof.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess it all depends on who's there, right? How many people do you have that you set up a couple cameras, right? It's just phones. The Pith, they do a good job there because they're using actual video cameras, like the ones up in the booth for those fields. They're doing real video cameras. So it's a little tough to bounce them between the two. But it did sound like they were, picking and choosing which games and, go with some of, obviously Pro Action, you're going to probably catch a couple of them.
They didn't. Paul Lafont killed it and still does not want to play softball.
So he led the Pith in home runs with 6.
Yeah, and I think Gary got the snub of the MVP. Good for that young kid to win it, but fucking Gary's stat line was ridiculous.
Gary's 12 for 17, 5 home runs, 15 ribbies, 706 average, like
the
fucking Pebbles.
The walk-off to get to the finals.
That's right, walk-off. And then they came back and won it down 8 in the bottom of the 7th. Like, Pebbles had himself a weekend.
Yeah. I thought Gary was going to win the MVP, but the other dude also only made 2 offs. I think he had 3 triples in a row at one point.
Who,
That's the Nate. He's from Maryland. He's 24 years old.
Jesus Christ. Just another young fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Well, I don't know who was on that other team, that Spartans team, but they gave Chosen probably their 2 best games of the year so far besides their conference events.
Well, I think one of my favorite pitchers is the pitcher, if I'm thinking right. It's Olivier Blier. Yeah. Is the pitcher for that team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If I was looking at the box, Nate McGray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went 10 for 12.
Yeah.
2 homers, 6 ribbies, 833. I don't know. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That works.
Without Gary's 15 RBIs, they don't make it there.
Right. That's the thing. How about Beecher? Matt Beach in 4 games made 1 out, 10 for 11.
Yeah, he's a good hitter.
Ooh, Ben Smith, 11 for 13, 5 home runs, 18 ribbies. Tell you what, if Yeti made a run, he's an MVP. He's the MVP of the tournament.
Yeah, they played on those. I'm not taking anything from them. They played on those side fields that aren't as big as the stadium, though.
Yeah, I think Ben could get it out of the stadium. Okay.
Well, there was a lot more home runs this year than I felt like there was last year. Just watching the games.
Well, I wonder why. Could have been the ball.
I heard the ball wasn't that good though. Even Dustin said it.
Really? But it felt like I talked to a couple guys last night and they said it was a rock. But Dustin's obviously has the ball in hand. However many times a game. Yeah,
but there were some good games. Even the women's games were good. I was following along on because it was crazy. They started off with the women's games and they went to the men's games, and the women's games were better than the men's games. And I was just following along on like the schedule where you could see the live stats, and there were some good games.
I was told I got a chance to catch up with Sam Cloutier from Legacy last night at League. She was there, and I haven't seen Klutz since the Men's Beast, and had a great chance to chat. She hit a walk-off grand slam against Grip It and Rip It Friday night. And I was told by multiple people last night at League that were up at the Pith said that Grip It and Rip It Legacy Friday night game was the best softball game they've seen potentially ever, but in a long, long fucking time. They were just going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, there were some really good games. Even the championship game was good.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. Like this Legacy team out of New Hampshire, they've got some time off now. They played every weekend in June, and this is what part of what Klutz and I were talking about. It's tough on the women, right? You have to play when there's tournaments, but then you're also playing. A lot of these women play co-ed, so they're going double dipping on weekends. So they're playing, sometimes you're playing 10 games on a weekend, and all throughout the month. That's a lot. So Legacy, kind of feel like Legacy is probably pulling away a little bit from Grip It and Rip It. I still think those are the top two teams in the Northeast for women's at the B level. But Legacy, they've now beat Grip It and Rip It a few times in a row. Some big events, Test of the Best, the Pith twice. They now have the month off until they go to Maryland for the conference. Okay. Which that is going to be.
Is it the same weekend as the men's?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that's going to be great. Like I was talking to Klutz about it last night. Like I'm excited to see what they do and go down there for a couple of reasons. One, I'm just excited. I just like when they leave and go play. But two, there's a lot of women on that team that are very, very fucking, and they're number one in the nation in power rankings, Legacy, and Grip It and Rip It. They are number 4 in the country. But there's a lot of good women on this Legacy team, and going down and playing a conference event down in Maryland, you're going to get some amazing exposure at both as a team and individually. And I was saying last night, I'm like, I could name, off the top of my head, I could name 7 women on that team that could be on a conference team right now.
Yeah.
If they want.
It's the same thing, like to piggyback on the men's situation in the Northeast. There's, God, I would say 30 guys that could play in the conference, 40 guys if their opportunity was there. Mm-hmm. It's the same. I mean, just live in a shitty part of the United States for conference softball. That's the problem.
With Maryland being the closest one, you look back to when PF went down. They finished third or fourth at the Maryland major.
But there used to be Ohio. There'd be Virginia. Like it was. The So What girls used to travel all, they'd go to 3 or 4 a year towards the end of their little run. But like I was talking to one of the sponsors from down here in Florida who runs a local A team. The conference has to regionalize itself again for both men and the women. They have to go back to the old school schedule. And if teams don't come, just cancel the tournaments.
What was the old school schedule?
We had a major. There was Maryland, there's Virginia, there was North Carolina. Ohio had 3 tournaments. Like just in this area, Indiana had a couple tournaments. There was way more for the teams in, like I would say even from Michigan over to travel to. Now there's not. So
you kind of take like the lakes, mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and now you have this kind of corner. Because it is like even in Virginia, like it's easy enough, even from New Hampshire, even from northern New England, Boston north, it's easy enough to get down into the mid-Atlantic. Yeah. BWI on Southwest is cheap enough if you do it early enough. Like you can get down there quick. And even driving, it's only, from here to Maryland is 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not bad.
But even look at this weekend. Look what happened in Seattle. There was 9 teams there, I think, for the duel. Ooh. I mean, Kansas City, I think, had around the same number. I think Kansas City had like 20 teams, but maybe 7 or 8 were conference teams. It's not good.
No, that's tough. I would like to see, and we do talk about it, seeing, I'd love to see Legacy Grip It and Rip It, some of these other teams, you get that exposure, right? You just get in these
Mhm.
conference events, and if they are, one local, then jump in it and just see what happens. Who the fuck cares
Yeah.
if you get beat up a little bit? Last year, Legacy went and played in the Double A.
Yeah.
When had a couple of great games, and then they go and win the GSLAB Worlds
Yeah.
right after. Like, it almost resets you. It shows you kind of where you really stand, face a little different competition, and everybody talks about playing up and playing better. That's what that does for you.
If you play the if you play the game the way you've been playing all year, who cares is on the other side of the field, and you don't know them? It's actually an advantage because they don't know you. You're playing these local teams every weekend. They know what you do. When you travel and you play against other teams, they got no clue what you do. It's an advantage.
You get up. I'm thinking about like even the teams around here. I'll get up on a weekend and it's just like, all right, you know what this guy's tendency is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know where to play me. It's pretty easy. Like, it's not hard to figure out. But you're right. You go away and it shows you a little different. I'm trying to pull up I want to pull up the Legacy's team batting because I know. So in that walk-off game where Legacy won, beat Grip and Rip It with a walk-off grand slam. This is what you had to face. Bottom 7, you had a runner on third, second and third. So you had Kayla Riley, who was on second. You had first base open. So then you had to face Sam Cloutier, who hits the ball unreal. Behind her, you have Malia Cole, who Malia, just pulling up her stuff real quick, was 11 for 15 with 4 home runs, 20 fucking ribbies. Cute little 733. Like, Malia Cole's a fucking bad motherfucker. So they walked Kayla to get to Klutz. Malia Cole was the MVP. Shocking with that kind of a stat line. Absolutely she should be. But, so it's tough. Like, you're looking at that. Kayla Riley, standing on second, she hit 14 for 18, 778. Klutz over the tournament was 12 for 16, 3 home runs, 19 ribbies.
I think
And
she
then
hit
you're going
2
into
home runs.
MVP.
I think she hit 2 home runs in that game Friday night.
5th inning and then the walk-off.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah.
Total, Legacy hit 15 home runs.
That's more than the men's. I think probably almost had combined.
you could definitely find some teams that were struggling to hit that many. You have Malia Cole 4, Abby Amato with 4, Klutz with 3, and then you had the Hamill sisters with 1 each, Emma Lazat and April Medito with 1. So, like, this is they had 101 ribbies. It's unreal.
Yeah.
That's why I love that field up at the Pith, because those games, it's not like the typical game when they're around here on the 300-foot fields, 290 fields. Like, these, the home run's really in play. It's fucking awesome. And then to flip it around, the Grip It and Rip It women, yeah, Katie Betancourt, fucking KB with 7 home runs.
What are the fields? 250?
Yeah, it's like 250. One of them's real short. One side's real short, but like, it's a 12-foot fence, I think, 10-foot fence. And then you got the bar tent, right? You got the bar righted down along the left field line.
Yeah.
That women's field at the Pith is one of the greatest fields to hang out and watch a game at.
Yeah.
And you see some great games when the fields are that small. But yeah, KB. Yami had 5 for Grip It and Rip It. Paige Fleming and V both with 4. But then you had Meg Lennon leading the charge with a 735 batting average for Grip It. So it's nice to see. I was loving the fact, Grip It and Legacy play square off first game Friday night. Love to see Grip It and Rip It battle all the way back. Also, want to give a shout out to the Good Time Girls. The Good Time Girls took down that Valentine team, the team from Quebec, in the losers bracket semifinal, I believe, to go ahead and then play Grip It or Rip It in the losers bracket final. So nice run by the Good Time women.
Yeah, again, the weather kind of sucked. I don't know. I feel like the last couple of years, every Saturday night it fucking rains there.
Yeah, last year, the 2 years ago, our first year, the weather was beautiful. It was warm. It was gorgeous out. Um, I just, it sucked. It sucked that the rain was such a big factor and it was so bad. I will tell you, they do a great job up there of A, maintain the fields, but B, get it
Dude,
ready.
it's great. Like last year, we got to the field at like 7:15. We're like, there's no way we're playing. There's one guy out there with like a broom and a shovel. I'm like, there's freaking no way we're playing this game. And you know,
Yeah,
45 minutes later, we're playing.
you're
I
ready.
mean, there's puddles, but you're playing.
You show up with a couple of rubber duckies and a
Yeah,
swimsuit, thinking you're going to be um, jumping in some puddles. Jesus Christ! I just pulled up one of the other um, teams from around here, Pope Cooling and Heating. Shout out to Chris Pope with Pope Cooling and Heating. Thanks to JT to bring in the throwing this comment up here. Britt and Chelsea Cheney both had 5 home runs for Pope, but Kelsey had she had a cute little 800, little 16 for 20 with 19 ribbies. Britt 10 for 14, 5 home runs, 14 ribbies. Like Jesus Christ, thanks, Cy. I tell you what, I like seeing this. I like seeing the women's team from around here go up and do well. Pope finished 3-2 on the weekend. Tell you what, man, this is.
it would have been nice to see the home run derby this year because it looked like a lot of the balls were flying.
Oh, look at these stats. Like, yeah, I would love
Yeah,
to have seen that. Like,
right.
that performance that the Gazelle put on last year, Alyssa Derrick, was unreal. But you had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, it's numbered here. You had 7 women with 5 or more home runs.
Yeah.
Would have loved that. 2 from the Valentine team, KB. And then Tristan Gillet from Valkyrie. I think she was from Ontario. Like, that would have been a hell of a home run derby.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can. I don't want to. I wish you could add up the totals of the home runs and compare them, but
We could
that'd be
take a
too
look
much.
at that.
That'd be too much work right now.
You had two women with 30 ribbies.
Yeah.
Yami with Grippet, and then Tristan Gilly with
Listen.
Valkyrie.
So here's the men's home runs.
Yeah.
Paul had 6. Gary had 5. Ben had 5. 2 Canadians had 5. Another Canadian had 5. 4. The women hit more home runs than the guys.
I'm telling you, the women's game at the Pith it's the most fun women's softball and slow pitch you'll watch all year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even close to how many more home runs they probably hit.
And even, what was the Ribby? Ribby leader was 20. Our boy Sean Prue from Pro Arsenal. I mean, they all played. Let's see. So they played 7. Oh, we don't have the same thing. So they only have ABs versus.
Yeah. But
I mean, the women had more ABs, but it doesn't matter.
Not many, though.
No.
10 more, but still, like, you average it out.
Yeah, I bet you it averages.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to Legacy. Going up there, repeat, back-to-back Pith champs. And with pretty much the same team. Both teams there, Grippet and Legacy both have pretty much the same teams. Grippet last year finished in 3rd. They lost Valentine in the losers bracket final, if I remember correctly. And then, yeah, they did. And then, this year they lost in the championship game to Legacy. So congratulations to both those teams. Way to represent the States and ruin Canada Day for a lot of the Canadian teams. But moving on over to the men's side, the Bring It boys were rolling until the fucking rain came in and the boys started having some fun with the rain, it sounded like. The pictures of fucking Dustin I was getting.
Oh.
Unreal.
Yeah. Classic.
Unfucking real, man. He texted me one. It's another one. I'll set it up. I said, Jesus Christ. I go, that's a vibe. He goes, I am the vibe. I'm like, are we cutting a promo on WWE right now? Like, we cutting a Raw promo? Uh, but yeah, he was having the time of his life this weekend. It sounded like all the boys had a great time.
Mhm.
But a couple of things that really popped up looking at this as, hold on, let me pull it up. I've got it here for you. Look at this. Look at this fucking pick of dude. Like that is
Dude,
just something. If I had those
that
abs like he does now, I absolutely would be showing them
that
off.
that hotel is awesome.
Is it?
Oh, dude, it's really nice.
Is he
They have
drinking?
everything in there.
Really?
He's drinking White Claws. They got pool. They got a massage place. They have like a restaurant. It's where it's at.
Sounds like they did it the right way.
Mhm.
First off, I want to give a shout out to the Simonelli Boys.
Yeah, they played
Simonelli took
really good.
down Pro Action
Mhm.
in winners bracket quarters, I believe.
Who beat him? Who beat him to knock him out? Was it another Canadian team?
Coffrage Daniel
Yeah, yeah.
Lampon.
The Spartans beat them to knock him out.
Yeah, 9-8. They run ruled Pro Action 13-3, and then
They lost 10-8 to him on Saturday afternoon.
that's it. Yeah, so 9-8. They lost their next game, and then they lost to Pro Action later in the tournament.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 10-8. So nice little showing there by those boys, finishing they finished their third.
Yeah.
AUIT started off all right. I do think, that big break, the rain Saturday night, if you're rolling Saturday and then you get that rain, it switches everything up.
Mm-hmm.
The AZ boys.
Some of those teams didn't play they finished playing probably like 3 or 4 Saturday afternoon, and they didn't play again until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. Like when I was talking to Klutz, I was like, if I went up there, I was going to go up for like 12, 1 o'clock, leave here like 9. And she was like, yeah, that's exactly when the rain started. I was like, okay. I'm glad I made the right decision. Interesting here, though, Ontario was a big play in the Pith this year. Saw more Ontario teams. I think there was SPA, they were trying to do a little more inclusion of other teams throughout Canada, some of the other provinces. But in the top, you have, Bololi, Chosen, Thunder won it. Then you have Pro Action, you got, the Spartans out of Quebec. But then you had a couple of U.S. teams all finishing up high in the top there.
Yeah.
6 points, Big Dog, Simonelli, AUIT, Bring It, two Kings out of Ontario. So it wasn't nice little showing from the U.S. boys going up north.
Yeah, I mean, AUIT's first time going. I bet they had a blast. They'll probably keep on going, hopefully. I don't know. I mean, I think the thing that sucks, I think they can make it a bigger tournament, but because they literally have 3 fields, but you have to battle the weather. Because they do stop early on Saturday for the home run derby, right? They stop at like 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, they usually stop right around. I think the last game is. No, I think 6 o'clock. So they're done by 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do some like inductions, the Hall of Fame inductions, and then get into the home run derby.
Right. Because I mean, I think it just gets better and better every year. The Canadian teams are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
They used to look around and be like, you see the scores and the teams from around here are beating the snot out of those Canadian teams. Now it's a lot more equal.
And I wonder, because I do know that there are more players coming down. We've seen it. We saw it at the Beast. There's a couple of Canadian teams that came down for the Beast of the East. So you're starting to see it. Firecracker will probably see a couple come down. I wonder if that has a lot to do with it. Just more exposure, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing we talk about all the time. Is just, the more the exposure, the more you're playing different areas, the better you see what other competition looks like, and not just what's going on in Baie-Comeau.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that chosen. So Pebbles hit a walk-off in the winners bracket final.
Grand Slam.
How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
How's your father?
Yeah.
And then they were down 8 in the bottom of the 7th.
With 1 out.
1 out, bottom 7, down 8 in the championship game to the Spartans. Holy shit.
So they were in a bad spot. They were at I think they were at the middle of their order, and the bottom of the order was struggling.
Really?
And yeah, it was a rough game for the bottom of the lineup, and they ended up hitting for their pitcher again, so he was out. So they kept the guy in. They hit for their pitcher, put their backup pitcher in, and they squared up the ball really well in that last inning.
Well, here it's a crazy thing too. Here I'm looking at the Spartans lineup, and this was where Olivier Blier was pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember him from last year. He is a phenomenal fucking pitcher. He has some, I believe he has some conference under his belt as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Older pitcher, but guy is awesome.
Yeah.
But their team batting average was .493. And they went to the ship.
Look at everybody's though. It's kind of rough.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
I mean, in the
chosen 624.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Vandy hit 600.
Yeah. There was one point where Tyler, Vandy, and between Keith and Galen, who were batting 3 and 4, they had made 1 out each.
Holy shit.
The first 3 or 4 games, yeah.
You're not kidding. Proaction hit 545.
Yep.
As a team, yeah, you're right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So except for Paul Lafon, 778. But let's keep him. Yeah, Paul, why don't you want to play, bud?
I don't know. I said something to Hummer Sunday.
Yeah.
We were talking. I'm like, dude, Paul just hit 800. He goes, yeah, he still doesn't want to play. I said, what the fuck?
Did he have a kid too?
I don't know. That or he's got too many people locked in his basement.
Hey, you know what? It's tough to keep them all, quiet when you're away from the house. So I understand why.
I know, dude, softball last year for a lot of guys sucked. They put a bad taste in people's mouths. I bet you that has a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear it. So
yeah.
When does Keith stop getting asked to go to the Pith? Now 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Big pickleball player now. That's why he killed it. Hand-eye coordination is on point.
So he went from hitting absolute ropes to now just dropping balls over the net off of you can't move your feet in pickleball, right? Is that maybe I should play fucking pickleball? If you can't move your feet, I'd be quick. I've got good reflexes. I've been watching Wimbledon today with my daughter. It's been a blast. Pickleball, I don't know, man. Dude, have you played?
It's not since high school.
Pickleball?
Yeah. We used to have it in gym class.
Really? We did?
I did.
We're the same fucking. Well, you're younger than me, so I definitely would have had it. I don't remember.
Yeah, and our gym teachers used to kick our ass. They were we thought they were the best pickleball players in the world.
Huh. I remember playing badminton. That was fun.
Yes, we did badminton first, and then we did pickleball. We had school-wide tournaments.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Badminton kind of low-key fucks.
Yeah, it's fun.
Until you play somebody from China or Japan or Taiwan, then you're fucked.
You ever see the videos the people playing ping pong, table tennis, whatever you want to call it, and the little Chinese girls that are fucking disgusting at it? It's they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they're nasty.
It's gross.
Yeah.
You see these guys it drops below the table, and so you can't see it. They just boop, and it comes fucking
And they hit it around. It's crazy.
It's fun, and the way that ball gets moving, I don't know how they hammer it back.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's jump into the beast. This is gonna be a quick one, buddy. Let me tell you, we're already on the beast of the East of the weekend. Unfortunately, due to Circumstances at the Plex earlier this year, I would assume. This is just another C tournament.
That's
Right?
this weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it's this weekend.
Yeah, it's this weekend. The pools are out. You got FHC walk off, Reloaded and Toro construction in a pool, Season Athletics GTP Bad Beat in a pool, Titans Yeti checking, and Allstate in a pool.
I think Titans is still trying to fight to get in the Firecracker.
They're not in?
Oh no, I had
Wow.
sent JB a text and he said he could try, but it doesn't look like they're gonna get in.
They just waited too long, huh?
So I guess he told them that they could get in like that day at the Northeast Shootout, and then the whole fiasco happened, and
Okay.
I don't know. But again, like I say every year, this the Firecracker is the same weekend every year. It's the first tournament you should enter and pay for.
Yep. Yeah, because that's
If you don't,
it's a big one.
If you end up having to back out, there's 9 million teams that want to get in it. They'll take your spot and give you your money back.
Fucking D teams will do it if you can't find a C team that won't come. Like,
yeah,
there's so many. That's too bad. Well, hopefully they get in, but you never know. I don't know. This is gonna be. This kind of looks like a weird tournament, to be honest with you.
10 teams.
10 teams. Reloaded's got 1137 on the power. GTP's 1098. Then everybody else is sub 1,000. Titans have played the most with 24 games. I think this is kind of why, obviously you're looking at Reloaded and GTP to make a stance here and potentially go out and win it. But I think this is pretty wide open. Nobody jumping off the page that I'm like, oh, this team's definitely gonna. Outside those two teams, there's nobody on this page I'm really like, yes, this team's gonna push.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an open weekend. Anyone can win it.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Curious to see a couple teams though. I'm curious to see Season Athletics. They've been struggling. Are they going to bounce back?
Are they going to have their whole team? Let's see.
Yeah. Bad Beat. I'm curious to see. They've played 2 tournaments. What are they going to do? Toro surprisingly sitting at 500, 5-4.
I was surprised they didn't go to the Pith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why not. I think Spanky had. I think Spanky might have had something this weekend.
Yeah.
Family related. Oh, Waddy puts up a good point here. Bad Beat. The Beast is Bad Beat's tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Waddy's top 3. But here you go. Beating Bad Beat and the Beast is always tough. And true. I mean, they won it a couple years ago where they were when Smoke was up here.
Yeah. I just never know who Dustin's gonna have. They got guys.
If he has that full team, they could be good, man.
Yeah, they got guys with kids and other responsibilities and shit. So it's tough.
Yeah, and now after a Pif weekend, but
yeah,
they haven't played a lot, so they're well rested.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it should be good, but next year we'll see. Hopefully next year I'll be back at the Pif. It was just with the baby coming a couple weeks prior. It didn't feel like it was the right time to go and leave.
I'd love to go back to the Pif. That's probably one of the only. It is probably the only big tournament around that I haven't won. So it's one that I
really.
Yeah, I need to try and knock off the list. I've fucking won everything else besides that. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll talk to Dustin and get you on that Bring It team next year. Maybe you can keep the boys going. I hear it's going to be short shorts and sleeveless with visors. They're going for like the 70s look next year.
Make sure I shave all this fucking hair off my body for sleeveless.
Oh,
you have to fight Hummer to get me on your guys' team.
I challenged him to a race, but he'd kick my ass in it. Maybe if I drove a scooter, he'd be all right. Yeah, I could beat him.
He ain't the fleetest of foot right now. Fucking old man.
Yeah, but fucking look at me. I'm carrying around 3 kids. Like literally, like I'm carrying around an entire. I've got like a left side of an infield around my midsection. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. I don't have an MFK. Coco's
No.
hanging out with the fam. You're tired. I'm good. Let's shut her.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good luck this weekend at the Beast, everybody.
Yeah. We'll bring some more energy next week.
I won't be here next week, so it'll be you three.
Perfect. We'll take a week off and we'll go straight into the firecracker brackets.
Love that. There you go. We'll keep you all updated. All right. See you guys.
All right. Later.